Alright, so today's video, we got a silver. No, a gold. I just went with silver because we've recorded a lot of silver videos recently. We got a gold Reaper, Tracer, Sombra. Now here's their issue. They have 3,000 hours. And they think that a lot of the time, it's because their teammates don't back them up. Like, why are they losing games? Is it their teammates? I don't know, I thought my mic was broken, so I looked down at my shirt. Is it their teammates? Is it because of their gameplay style? 3,000 hours, so there's gonna be some things we can see here that hopefully you can fix. And another thing that can be fixed is sub into the YouTube channel if you haven't yet, so you can watch these videos and all the videos we do, so you know when I post a video. We'll see what happens. Enjoy the video. You don't see Reaper too much, too, so it's really cool to kind of like see some Reaper gameplay. Well, when we actually see anything happen. Okay, took a bit, but... Alright, so you have low HP, you're standing still on the side here. Actually, not a bad idea if you're not gonna go to your team. I do want to point out, you're kind of really far into their team right now. So, like... You're kind of purely relying on your team not to get rolled. I also want to point out your Reinhardt's playing against a Mauga. Good luck. Good luck is all I got there. Nice aim. That was good shots right there. Good job. Oh, we go better soon. I'm still okay with this, outside of a couple times where, like, you kind of just didn't look behind you, but that's fine. So far, so good. So far, so good. You see their feet in the Mercy? Yeah, that's fine. I don't... I'll charge as I'll charge, and a lot of time it's just gonna happen that way. Like, to give you an idea, like, here, I'll pause for a second, because you're like, oh, they're feet in the Mercy, like, etc. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, in top 500 games, we know that they're building Nano. Like, we know that they're building Nano in Honor Brig comps. We know the Winston is standing still taking damage to do that. But then you have, like, this problem where, like, if you do nothing, then you don't ever build up ult charge anyway because you're not trying to do damage. They do damage, and you fall behind ult. So there's just a situation where, like, you just can't not. Like, sometimes you just have to do damage, otherwise they just take map control and you lose. Like, even we know that's happening, you'll still get the Nano. It will happen, because you have to. The trade-off is that you're also building your ultimate, right? That's the trade-off. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of give and take. Oh, absolute big slam. Good call. Big slam. Yeah, good job on over-ulted. They have made a bit of a swap. So, like, your value is starting to change a little bit with the comp they have. You might get a good ult here if you do this right, but overall, you're going to start to lose a little bit of value on Reaper, which is probably why you switch. You have 69 HP right there for a second. That was nice. All right, I'm ready. Keep in mind, you just used the cooldown in front of them, so now you're forced to use an ult. All right, you can shift out again, but you're gonna. I think you're gonna ult it because you feel you have to. You have no escape. Unless you TP out. Okay, you're playing it safe. I'm still okay with this. Like, it hasn't been terrible. Reaper's not, like, my favorite pick right now to play, just because I feel like Reaper has run into this issue where... Yeah, that's kind of... I just gotta point something out to you. That's kind of more on you than anything. I know, like, you're gonna be mad at, like, your support right there. But you also have to understand something. You have the ability to create mobility and kind of, like, teleport away, get away, go somewhere else. Like, you can go here. Why stand right here when you can go, like, right here, right? Like, your Ana still has sight lines. That's going to be more on you than anything. And especially when you're on a hero like Reaper, you need to do a little bit better job of doing that. So I would definitely be a bit wary on that. Like, I think the problem with Reaper is it just feels like every other hero just... Whether it's support, tank, or even damage, for the most part, just does more damage than Reaper, it feels like. Not like... Is it more like effective damage I'm thinking of? Like, Reaper isn't the tank buster that he used to be. Is that a better... It's what it feels like. Now, chat might be like, what are you talking about? I get rolled by a Reaper all the time in ranked. It just feels like Reaper isn't the same tank buster that he used to be. Oopsie, thanks for the British round. Thank you for shit. Nice ult. I like that. Really good ultimate. Nice job. Nice job. And my bit of a concern here, though, is like... Not concern. You mentioned your teammates don't really go in with you. I have seen the team with you the majority of the team fights. Like, if you're expecting your teammates to go in with you right there, then no, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Okay, so this goes back to what I was talking about just a second ago. I've watched you die twice there to the same thing. If you have no cooldowns, if you're not in a spot, just back up to a spot for your teammates. Instead, you go into a little small doorway right next to them. It doesn't matter if all your teammates are there. They know that you don't have your cooldowns. You have to get out of there, and, like, your cooldowns are basically what makes Reaper work. I mean, you're not going to hold this. Maybe you are. No, everybody's too low. Okay, so I imagine we're going to see a swap out of you soon. My guess is you're going to keep your Reaper ultimate. You're going to go one more Reaper ult, and you're going to switch when you realize the Pharah is getting way too much value against your team. And your Reaper ultimate's going to not get as much value as you would like. That is my guess that's going to happen here, only because that's what happens to me if I ever do play Reaper, which is very rare. I'm fine with that. How can you flank with Reaper, though? Every time you do it, you end up dying because supports are OP. I mean, I can show you the why the Reaper flanks don't work as much anymore. It's just kind of the way the game is played right now. I mean, this is... Here, I'll show you on green screen. I just want you to kind of, like, this is what a Reaper flank is like. And this is what the problem that runs into Reaper is... I think it's probably shifted because of 6v6. This kind of happened... The same thing kind of happened to Roadhog for a little bit. And it's probably why Reaper's, like, on their list of heroes they might rework. Is in 6v6, there was a lot more heroes on the field, right? You say a lot more. I mean, 6v6, there was just a lot more there. So Reaper kind of used to be able to sneak around and make these plays, right? There was just more things to worry about at the time. So Reaper had much more opportunity. So this is what Reaper's like on the flank. Hey, everybody. I'm just going to go over here and... All right, here I come. I'm going to... yeah, just give me a second. I got to set up for this. 1 second. Can you just wait? Give me a second here. I got to use 12 cooldowns. Can you just stay still? Stay right there. Oh, no, you already left. Oh, well... All right, here I come. It's Reaper all time. Whoa! Okay, back to spawn. All right, have a good day, everybody. I went for the flank. That was fun. But that's what it's like, right? Is the advice not to just play Reaper in ranked? I don't think you'll get that advice from me. I think you can play whatever you want. I'm just showing you some of what happens now with where Reaper can struggle a little bit because it just, you know, Reaper just isn't able to flank like Reaper used to. So... Like I said, Reaper's not necessarily a terrible hero. It's just like Reaper's just kind of almost kind of lost currently in Overwatch. And that's probably why there's just going to be changes eventually to Reaper, is because it's just Reaper's losing a bit of that value, right? Like you're not seeing that same value that Reaper had before. So it gave Reaper a sniper ability and an immortal boost on all-in-one. That's not a bad idea. I think people really like that, especially an immortal ability. You add more of that, I think people really like that. That's an easy limb on the Pharah. Until it wasn't. There's no way. Watch that health pack. They're not even going for the health. I don't even know the health pack's there. Oh, man. If that doesn't perfectly describe Reaper gameplay sometimes, I don't know what does. You're like, come on, get in range. I need to do 2 more damage, but you're so far away. All right, chat. I think this was a pretty easy thing to predict on what was going to happen with Reaper. All right, yep. All right, what hero we got now? Are you staying Reaper? Okay, you know what? I didn't guess this part. Also, wait a second. I gotta pause. You said your teammates didn't go in with you? You just solo ulted a point. Sorry, I just had to point that out. Like, nobody was there. Apparently, I'm really passionate about this Reaper gameplay. All right, here we go. Yeah, definitely don't fade into a Reaper ult unless there's a play to go with it. Example, you have a Zarya bubble and you go in, like you say, hey, can you bubble me after I fade? Then yeah, you can get away with that play, right? Because like you're almost baiting them into that, like thinking they're gonna get you. They pump all their cooldowns into a Zarya bubble, you get your limb, right? You know what I mean? There's ways to do it, but yeah, if you just like, one of the most common Reaper ults I see is when a Reaper decides to take a journey across the map right in front of your face. And, like, the only way they're gonna get any limbs on your team is if all of your monitors, like, turn off at the same time. I'm really loving this back and forth teleport gameplay by you. He said we need hit scan for Pharah? Yeah, I mean, you didn't specify what hero, okay? You didn't say, hey, what hit scan you needed, you know? You just got a Reaper. Listen, you got hit scan, all right? Pops, thanks for the 5 months to tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks.
Emongg blank, please.
I don't even know how to describe, like, your Reaper gameplay against that Pharah. Like, you're just kind of like, you're kind of just like poking the Pharah, just literally like, I'm gonna, like, I don't even know how to explain it. You're not even, you just keep hitting him for like 4 damage. You're like, oh boy, what am I gonna do? So you stayed on Reaper the whole half. Okay, I'm actually impressed by that. I thought you were gonna switch off a little bit sooner than that, so that's cool to see. What in the world was that play by May? They're gold. Torp turret. Just want to point that out. Yep, there you go. It can't see you yet, so thank you for getting that Torp turret. I mean, that's probably more for you than anything, but what? Okay, so your Tracer gameplay, you're doing this thing where I think you'll benefit from focusing on one thing and then improving the other thing that you're not focusing on over time. And what I mean by that is some Tracers have really, really good movement. Some Tracers have really, really good aim, right? And some of the best Tracers that you'll see in the world, right, will have both of that. But it takes time to get to that level. So, like, concentrating on, like, yeah, exactly. Don't waste your blinks as much. You know, work on, you know, getting a little bit more consistent with your aim on Tracer. And then as you start to get your aim down, work on better movement. What you're doing is you're hitting all your buttons at once, and then you're hoping that, like, you're like, wow, I'm playing Tracer. So you need to, like, kind of take your time with what you're doing and focus kind of on one thing you want to do. Get better at that. And then you start to focus on the other one while improving the one that you've gotten better at, and then you'll see more results. Right now, you're blinking in, moving around, hitting buttons, going there, going here, let's just go here, and then you're missing half your shots, etc. Like, Tracer, the best way to play Tracer, and most good Tracers you'll see, is either you hit your shots, or it always feels like you have a blink. One of the two. More than likely, in gold, you'll probably want to go more for, like, just the mechanic side of things, because those will help you as you keep climbing, and then your movement will matter much more as you get into higher ranks. So, what accuracy should you aim for? Not 0%. And you go, what do you mean? Listen, I'm looking for an exact percentage. There's no, I can't give you a percentage that you should aim for because Overwatch is so different in what you're doing that, like, there's no guarantee. You know what you should aim for? 100%. Straight up. 100%. Why not, right? That means you've hit all your shots, but you're not, it's so hard to do that, right? There's no direct percentage I would aim for. It's like the same thing if you're like, how much damage should I have every game as Tracer? I don't know. What comp are they playing? I can't tell you to go for 20,000 damage every game on Tracer. If they're running the comp they are right now, doesn't mean you can't go for 20,000 damage, but, like, you shouldn't, like, finish the game and be like, I didn't get 20,000 damage as Tracer. Are you kidding me? Like, that's not, you know what I mean? I'm on fire. There's a lot there, right? Like, what if you're playing Tracer and then the other team goes Tracer and you now have to take 1v1s with the Tracer? Are you going to have Like, are you gonna have good accuracy at that point? Probably not, because it's just a at that point it's a cooldown game, right? You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you. I am more impressed that you managed to not even get the Torb turret. Like, listen, we've all seen missed pulse bombs, but I think the impressive part is that you didn't even get the Torb turret. That to me is the impressive part of all of it. That right there, it took more skill than missing the pulse bomb or hitting a pulse bomb. That was impressive. Watching. No cooldowns. What was the problem there? You have no cooldowns. Look at your cooldowns. You're playing Tracer. The whole hero's kit is based off of cooldowns and how you use them. You hit your buttons and that was that. You gotta work on that for sure. Like, that was not ideal. But yeah, I mean, you're not wrong in the chat where you said it's tough to play like Tracer into this comp. Yeah, they're running the Torb Zen comp. Like, you're already gonna be at a slight disadvantage. Doesn't mean you can't make it work. You can absolutely make it. Like, but you definitely have to, like, almost... Alright, here, I gotta play for you. Ready? Watch this. Pausing for a second because this will be helpful. You ready? Your team hasn't been holding this high ground, right? Let's start here. I'm just gonna show people something because this, if you're playing Tracer. I'm not saying this is gonna be perfect. Ready? They haven't been playing up here. You have all of this high ground.
How's the stream
all
so far?
Of this high ground. Timepiece, thanks for the 5 months here. Thank you. It's been great. Thank you. Everything's been well. It's been 5 months, right? Now, you're not gonna go this way, right? Because they have sight lines and they have things set up. Okay? Go up here. Blink once across. Blink twice if they recognize you're here. And now you have something where you're on the flank. This sets you up to make a play, right? This sets you up, and you're not just sitting here trying to frontline the whole time. Why do you want to go on flank sometimes as Tracer or pressure them from this way? Because a lot of the time, people will overreact to anybody in the back line. Then, you have all of this part of the map to play with, rather than being stuck in this situation where you're trying to battle people in a Torb turret all at the same time. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you start to do when you're on Tracer. Now, I do this in even top 500s. I mean, it takes me a couple team fights. Recognize that you can't get away with just sitting here the whole time. Now, this is the part where they'll, like, hit, like, some 4 shots and win the team fight. But you're going to be... Okay, your teammates get the limbs. But, like, that is why you want to start from there and then work with your team at that point. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck doing nothing. Look at what you did that team fight. You couldn't do anything because you're just sitting there playing like... I always reference it. You're playing like Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? You're literally playing Cassidy. Anyway. That was certainly a pulse bomb, you know. You know. Yeah. Nice job. Okay, now set up. Yeah. Set up. Uh-huh. I mean, I'll take it. This is going to be better than standing on the cart. Oh, apparently you installed the new Tracer silencer, so they don't even know you're here. This is perfect. Nice job. Wonderfully played. Yeah, I didn't realize you upgraded to that mid-game. Still got rolled. That was one of those situations, by the way, where you tried to do too much again. You tried focusing on, like, 5 different things, and, like, the result is they just all get you. Like, you had an opportunity just to go for that Ana and make that Ana have to turn around. Instead, you went for 4 different targets, and they don't have to worry about you as much. Unless you're one-clipping, of course. That's a different story. By the way, I do like your approach now. I'm not saying this is perfect by any means, but do you see how much more pressure you're putting on the back line? And why you want to set up the way that you're setting up right now? You see what I'm talking about? Like, this is why you do that. This is the same thing you would want to do on second point to get that value. It doesn't have to be perfect either. Like, sometimes you're going to miss all 25 of your pulse bombs in the same game, right? It happens. But when you look at that, you can kind of see what I'm talking about a little bit. Hopefully, at least. Here we go. Nades, thanks for the 2 months of the features crafted. Thank you, appreciate it. Somber time. Wait for it. Hey, you're gonna win this. I can't even give you any feedback on Tracer. I mean, Somber here. Your team just rolled. But we'll talk about some of that stuff very quickly. All right, so something that you can work on specifically is, one, your target priority is just not ideal. You spend so much time like looking at like 20 different things, and that like go for map control. Think about the hero you're playing. Hero selection's key. A lot of that's been your issue. Like you say you have like 3,000 hours. I think one thing that will help you go from here is just start to focus on one thing at a time rather than 10 things at a time. When you're on Tracer, you were trying to, blink 18 times while also going for an Ana, but then you saw the Cassidy to the left, so you're going to leave the Ana there. You're going to go for the Cassidy. You're going to fall back. You're going to go for the BAP. You're going to go over for this hero. You're going to go for that hero, etc. And then you don't end up doing anything. So start very much with like going back to the basics of, I'm going to start with one target. I'm going to get on this target. I'm going to go to this part of the map. And you'll improve. And you'll see that you'll probably climb if you do that, because mechanics were okay to an extent, right? You missed shots, obviously, but like it wasn't terrible. Like it was just, you just got lost. And when you have to think about 20 different things at once, that's when your aim gets worse. Happens all the time. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, sub to all 3 YouTubes if you have a lot of awesome videos on there. If you want to submit your own Spectating, look in the description below. If you look in the description below, you will see my Discord. That's where you can submit a VOD or like a Spectating for that. If you want, we also record these live on streams. If you see the Twitch chat right there below the webcam, stop by. We have a lot of fun here. That being said, it'll be an amazing day/night.